First Impressions Get Ready With Me on the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Colourpop eyeshadow palette, and I also got a couple of other things from the collection that you guys will be seeing me use in this video. So it is a first impressions on just the eyeshadow palette though, because I have used the other two items that I picked up, but I obviously want to use all the stuff that I picked up from the Rudolph collection this past Cyber Monday, because I picked this up on Cyber Monday along with the other items. I am actually going to be using quite a few new items in this video, but this is my first impressions video in at least like 3 weeks at this point. I haven't really picked up too many eyeshadow palettes in this month at all. I haven't picked up any eyeshadow palettes in the month of December. I did pick this up on Cyber Monday, which was the end of November, and then I did pick up another palette at the beginning of November that wasn't going to come until like the middle of December. So this is the only other palette that I will be trying from Colourpop this year. Then in January, that will start a whole nother round of trying new eyeshadow palettes. But for now, this is going to be my last Colourpop palette of the year. So first off, look how freaking cute this packaging is. I mean, adorable. It's just, I originally was going to skip over this palette, but honestly, I think that they killed it with this collaboration, because I feel like some of the other collabs that they've done this year have really fell short for me as far as what are the other products in the collection. Like, they always like really do a great job with the eyeshadow palettes, but as far as like the other like products in the collection, I was really happy with what they came out with this, and more so the Powerpuff Girls collection than like the Nightmare and the just where are the cheek products? Like, I'm so glad they came out with a highlighter with this collection. But anyway, let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. It's so freaking adorable. I love that he's twisted up all in the Christmas lights. It's just so freaking cute. And I love the background with the snowflakes. And then when you open it up, it has this really great mirror with the little Grace and Rudolph together. I think that's adorable. I think her name's Gracie. And then this is the 15 pan eyeshadow palette. Look how freaking pretty this is. I just thought this was such a gorgeous Christmas palette. Yes, I probably have these shades 10 times over in my collection, but honestly, I really felt like this was a palette that I would use a lot, especially during this time of year, because hello, it's a Christmas palette, but I really like that it goes from really light, and then you have quite a few deepening options in this palette. I prefer those kind of palettes from Colourpop over like the Lizzie McGuire, the Powerpuff Girls. Like, this actually goes from like a good ratio of like light to dark, and I think that this one is a lot more versatile because you have like quite a few deepening shades in here. You have at least 5 deepening mattes, and then you have like these more mid-tone mattes, so I really like that. So it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 mattes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shimmers. Like, I need more shimmers in my life, but I just thought this palette was so cute. So today we're going to do a pretty basic look. I'm really just using it today to test out the formula, but honestly, when I swatched these, I really liked how these swatched. They swatched super soft and very pigmented. I actually might even prefer this palette over the Barbie palette, because if these shimmers aren't flaky like the ones in the Barbie palette, because I hate that they flake in the pan, I might like this palette even more. So first off, we're going to prime my eyes with a new primer to me, which is called the Party Proof Primer from Colourpop, and this is the translucent one. The only thing I don't like about this is that it literally does go on invisible on your eyes. But what's kind of weird is that you can feel it when you blend it in. Like, when you use your finger, you can actually feel that it's tacky. And I understand that it's completely translucent, so it's supposed to be like clear. But honestly, you don't see anything come off the applicator. So I'm like, has this dried out already before I have even applied it to my eyes? But it actually works really nice, because after I put my powder on over it looks really nice. Like, the powder lays so smoothly on top then I'm like, wow, it actually is really nice. So I'm just going to do some of my prep on camera because I'm going to skip like my base and everything and most of my, you know, face products until the mascara, because I do have a new mascara to use for you guys, and I do have a new blush, and then the rest of it is from the Rudolph collection because I got the highlighter and both of the lipstick duos. So I'm just going to set my eyes really quick and then we get into the palette. Okay, so I just set my eyes with my Dior powder. Look how big of a dent that I have in this guy. I am really trying to hit pan on it, but do you see how smoothly my powder laid over that primer? Like, it really creates a very smooth base, so I was kind of impressed with that. Like, I was kind of scared that it wasn't really doing anything, and I was like, how is this doing anything? But it actually has been a really nice base, so I actually really like that. Okay, so let's go into the palette, and I think I'm just going to take a couple of the warm toned shades. So the first shade I'm going to jump into is the shade Eat Eat. These palette names, eyeshadow names, I mean palette names. Eyeshadow names are so freaking cute, and these are very pigmented, so, and they pick up very nicely on the brush. So I'm going to take that shade first. I don't know if this shade is going to be too light, then I might just use it as a transition shade. I don't know if it's going to be dark enough for me to be a crease shade, but let's see how it builds up. I can definitely pick up a ton of this, and it's really not going to be too pigmented. It's just a good base shade to start with. So let's just go ahead and apply that. It's building up nice though. I think it layers pretty well, that I can just build up the color to how much I actually want it to be built up, and I don't think it's going to be too light. I think it's actually a really pretty light mid-tone brown for my crease shade. So we're just going to use that. I'm getting ready for work. I have work at 4 today, so I thought it was a good opportunity to play with this palette finally, because it's been sitting in my room since I think Saturday night. So it's actually been like 3 days since I've actually been able to sit down and film with it. Tell me why, just because I just flossed, there's still stuff in my teeth. So we're just going to build that up off camera. Okay, so I went ahead and built that up off camera, and that built up really nicely. I wasn't really expecting anything else. So then the next shade I'm going to go into is called Little Buck, and this one is a really pretty, like, mid-toned, deeper brown shade, and I really like that, and I think it's going to build up really nice. Again, picking up very nicely on the brush, and I'm going to just use that in my defining area. I am filming this the week before Christmas, but this video is probably going to go up the week of Christmas, just so I have, you know, some more Christmas content to go up for you guys. I still haven't filmed another Christmas look yet, but I haven't really filmed too many videos in the past couple weeks, except for like my favorites video, the Christmas look, this video, and like another haul. And then I'm gonna have to film another haul video once my other palette comes in that I told you guys that I'm gonna try, because your girl tried a shit ton of eyeshadow palettes this year, so yeah. But I have to try this palette as much as I can before I do my ranking video, but that won't be for like probably another 3 weeks anyway, so I think I will be able to try all these shades in here. And again, I'm probably going to use this mostly a ton the week of Christmas, so yeah. Okay, so that built up really nicely. Really pretty chocolatey brown. I really like that. Honestly, these shades and these mattes are not really that powdery at all. They do kick up on the pan, but on the face, they blend out really, they're very smooth, which I'm kind of impressed by that. But they do kind of get all over the pan if you tap off your brush, so just keep that in mind. I didn't even tell you what shade I'm going into. So now I'm using the deep brown shade in the palette, which is called Ready Santa. And I'm going to take that on my outer corners because it's a really pretty, like, deepening brown. And you guys know how much I love these kind of colors. And when they're in palettes, I get really excited. So I'm a little bit torn as to which one I want to use as my lid shade, because honestly, there's like 3 colors that I really want to use. But you guys know I'm like, I only really like using one lid shade. I don't like layering eyeshadows. I don't like using 2 shades on the lid together. I'm just like that. I like giving each shimmer like it's where it, I really like testing out the shimmers thoroughly to tell you guys like whether or not they're good. And especially with the Colourpop palette, since I buy so many, I want to tell you guys which ones I love the most. So I always have to test out all the shimmers individually before I can actually tell you guys. But since Colourpop is a brand that I use all the time, it's not very hard for me to determine which one's my favorite palette and which one is not. Even though I think that some of the formulas are very different in each palette, I don't honestly think they have the same formula in every palette, really. I think every formula is different at this point. I actually think that the formulas in like the 12 pan palettes, like the collab palettes, are a little bit drier. This one is way smoother already. These mattes are blending so nice and they're super buttery. I can tell with the other collab palettes, they're a little bit stiffer. These are picking up really nicely and just, again, very easy to blend. But browns, you know, it's not like they're anything revolutionary, but I'm telling you right now, I think that's how all the shades are going to be. Just based on these, I think they're going to be super smooth. Okay, so that's that. And then we're just going to apply some glitter glue. Okay, so for my lid shade, I decided I want to use the shade Snowbank. It's just such a pretty, like, metallic brown shade. And it just looks so freaking pretty. So that is stunning. And I'm just going to take that and apply it. Ooh, that's really, really pretty. These are super, super buttery. Wow. Okay. That is stunning. And that doesn't flake at all. It's really, really smooth. Okay, Colourpop. I already love this palette. This is actually really, really nice. These metallics in here. Wow. That is so smooth. That is stunning. I already know where I'm ranking this. I'm already so impressed with that. That is so beautiful. And that's how all of the metallics feel in here. Is this smooth and this wet looking? Wow, that is amazing. And it doesn't flake at all. And that's what I like. And it picks up so nice. That's beautiful. I love it. That is so metallic. Oh my god. That is so pretty. And it doesn't even transfer that much at all. Oh, if their formula is going to start being like this. This formula is really, really good. Wow. This is why I try so many Colourpop palettes, because they keep on changing their... I feel like they change their formula with every palette. Not just release a ton, but they just change their... I feel like they change their formula all the time. That's beautiful. I love that shade. So let's just go ahead and do my base and everything, and then we'll come back and test out the rest of the products for you guys. Okay, so now we're going to jump back into the palette. But I love how my skin looks right now. This is a gem. This is the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil. It just makes my skin look amazing. I love this stuff so much. And then I used my MAC Fix Plus, of course, as my prep spray. And then I used my Milk Hydro Grip Primer, as usual. And then I used this. And then I used the Lancome Concealer, which I'm obsessed with as well. These two together, I've never used these two together before. Oh my god, so beautiful. And then I used the Pat McGrath Labs loose powder underneath my eyes as per usual, and then this at my face with my Dior Backstage powder as per usual. So Now we're going to jump back into the Rudolph palette, and we're going to finish up this look. And I think I'm just going to take the same crease shade that I use, which is called Eat Eat. And I'm just going to smudge that on my lower lash line. And then for the inner corners, I think I'm going to take the shade North Pole, which is this really beautiful, like, really light, shiny, metallic shade. And you guys know how obsessed I am with those kind of shades from Colourpop. They're always, like, so metallic and beautiful, and they just make the inner corners pop so beautifully. So I'm just going to take that one. So I'm going to take Eat Eat first. I just don't know if this is dark enough. All right, I think we're going to take a little bit of, what's it called? Little Buck too, because I feel like Eat Eat is not really applying that well. Which is fine. It is a lighter brown, so that doesn't really bother me too much, because I'm not really going to be using it as much on the lower lash line, so we're going to take Little Buck. I just feel like this took way too long to build up. And then I'm going to take it on the other side, of course. Already, my face is getting itchy already. So since we have to wear masks, I mean, we've been wearing masks at work for months now at this point. If I'm working a shorter shift now, I will just wear like a tinted moisturizer, like some type of like light coverage product now, because since I'm wearing a mask, there's really like no point of wearing like something that's more full coverage if I'm not working as long of a shift. If I'm working like an 8-hour shift, I'll wear something that will last longer. But since I am not really like doing as much light makeup right now because I'm mostly working or I'm seeing friends, I really have just been using like a lot of my more full coverage foundations. Oh, that is so pretty. That I use like my lighter foundations for like shorter shifts at work now. Oh my god, that's so pretty. See, this one does flake, but the only reason why it's flaking is because I'm using a pointier brush. So that doesn't bother me. I just can't like really tap my brush directly in it. I kind of have to use the side of the brush or it's just gonna like flake everywhere. That is stunning. Oh my god, that's the shade North Pole, like I said. Oh my god, just beautiful. Of course, you guys know I'm not satisfied with my inner corners until it's like blinding, but that is really beautiful. Oh my god. I don't know if it's just because I'm not building it up enough, but I don't find that this one is as metallic as the other like lighter shimmer shades that I usually am like blown away from them. It's really beautiful, but I don't feel like it's as brightening as the other ones, but that's really not a big deal. All right, let me just do my mascara and stuff. We're going to do my mascara off camera, but I mean on camera. I'm just going to do my primer off camera. Okay, so I went ahead and just primed my lashes. So now we're just going to go in with one of these Colourpop liners that I got from this holiday set from their website. I'm using the brown because, like I said, this is going to be a pretty basic neutral look. But I've used these liners quite a bit, and I actually have been really enjoying these ones. They are very pigmented. And this one's the shade Sunnyvale. So I just went in with that. I really need to hurry up because I'm already running out of time. I don't know how I never have enough time to finish filming. And then for my mascara, I actually picked this up from Marshall's, and this is the Maybelline Mega Plush Volume Express mascara. I'm going to declutter a ton of my mascaras, but I did pick up a couple drugstore ones from Marshall's, and I'm gonna start just picking up drugstore mascaras from Marshall's at this point because the drugstore has just become so expensive that it's just more worth it for me to pick up 2 mascaras at a time from Marshalls that are $4 a piece, rather than always spending $14, $15 on a mascara from the drugstore. I can get 3 or 4 of these from Marshalls for the same price. So that's what I'm going to start doing. And then I'm just going to do my bottom lashes really quick. So now I'm just going to go in with my bronzer. And I've been reaching for this bronzer quite a lot lately. This is my Thrive Cosmetics bronzer. I've just been really liking this tone recently. Like, once I start using this bronzer again, I usually can't stop using it. But since I used, like, the Gucci and the Dior, like, so much, since I got them, I wanted to whip out, you know, another bronzer to use. And I just can't stop using it at this point. So I'm probably going to rotate my bronzers again soon, because I've just been using, like, the same blushes and the same bronzers. So I need to rotate them soon. But I get so lazy, especially with bronzers, because it's like, if I have 3 bronzers to rotate, it's like I don't replace, like, I have 3 bronzers next to me that I can use, that it's like I like stick with those for like a month or 2 at a time, and then I'll finally like replace them with like a new one. But it's like, then I use like the bronzer enough that like I don't feel like overwhelmed with my bronzers, you know? Even though I don't even have that many bronzers, I mostly got into bronzers over the past year or 2. So, yeah. Okay, so that's that. And now we're going to do my blush and highlights. So I do have a newish blush. It's new to me, but it's not a new blush in general. But I did pick this up from Marshalls, and this is the NARS blush in the shade Illicit. And I actually am decluttering a bunch of my NARS blushes that I thought that this was a really pretty everyday blush shade from NARS. And I end up always loving like their nude toned blushes. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. Hold on one second. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that because I haven't used it on camera yet. And it's a really pretty everyday neutral shade. And it's just such an easy blush to use with like any look. I mean, of course, I would use it with a look like this because it's just a neutral look. But this blush will pretty much go with anything. And it's such a pretty like warm toned color. And you guys know I'm such a sucker for these kind of blush shades. And the NARS formula has always been beautiful. It's always been one of my favorites. And I'm just going to build that up. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the highlighter. Sorry, I always have something in my teeth. And then I'm just going to grab the lipstick duo because I'm just going to apply that right afterwards. So I'm going to go in with the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer highlighter in the shade Jingle Jingle Jingle. This packaging is just so adorable. And I'm just going to go ahead and go in with that. I'm so glad that they made this highlighter smaller because the packaging is just so gigantic usually on these compacts. That I'm glad that they made it so much smaller for this collection, and I hope that they do that in the future because we don't need it to be massive. This is like the size that it should be. This is such a beautiful highlighter, you guys. It's so much more than like a gold. It has so much like dimension to it. It's so pretty. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I thought it smelled for a second. I was like, what? And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that. I think this one picks up way better than, I forget what the other one that I tried that was from this like collection. I don't love that they keep on doing like these kind of highlighters, to be honest. I really like them, but I would prefer if they brought back some of their pressed highlighters because I actually prefer their pressed highlighters over like these Soul Body ones. I mean, I know that these are still like, I think the Super Shock formula. But the reason why they made them so big was because they were supposed to be for your body as well. I think I'm just going to use my finger for this because I always find that, but it's so pretty. It's like a bronze pinky gold. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's such a unique shade for Colourpop because I don't have any shade like this from them. I just think it's so pretty. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just gonna blend it out a little bit more because you guys know I like to go overboard, but that is really stunning. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. That is so beautiful. Okay. So let me just spray my face and then we'll finish up with the lips. So now we're going to go into the lips and I'm going to use one of the lip duos. Oh my god, my sponge is driving me nuts. In the Rudolph collection, and this is the I Think You're Cute lip duo. So it comes with a lippy pencil in the shade Clarice, and then the lipstick is in the same shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. Just want to wipe off my lips a little. And I have worn this like twice already, and it's become like my new favorite lipstick. But you guys know I absolutely love the nude Luxe, and I love the Luxe lip formula, but I love the nude lipsticks from the line because they always end up becoming like my favorite nude shades to wear on like an everyday basis. I think the highlight looks so freaking pretty. Okay, and then I'm just going to fill in my lips with the lipstick. This packaging is so adorable with this sparkly red packaging, and then I'm just going to apply the lipstick. And it's such a pretty nude shade. I'm just going to finish it off camera. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I really love how this look turned out, but I need to get to work, so we will talk about all my thoughts on the collection later, but you probably already know that I love everything. So yeah, bye. Okay, guys, so I just got home from work, so obviously I want to share my thoughts on everything that I tried, but mostly this was the only thing that was new that I hadn't tried on camera, and I always film first impressions for all the palettes I try. Sorry, my face is a little bit smeared. I need to go wash my hands really quick though, because I always wash my hands when I get home now, because you know COVID and everything, so just give me a second. I was just gonna be stressed about it the whole time filming my thoughts and everything. So anyway, I love this palette. I mean, I think you guys could tell, I could already tell that the quality of this palette is really just a step up from their other palettes that I've tried, especially the collab palettes. I don't think that the collab palettes this year have been their absolute best quality that they usually are. These are super buttery smooth. The metallics are so wet looking and metallic. This is probably going to be one of my favorite palettes from them that I tried this year. And it's so funny because it's always the palettes that I want to skip over initially. Like, I was looking at this and I was like, I don't need it. And then I got it and I was like, dang, these swatch beautifully. They just feel so buttery smooth. And they usually, I mean, Colourpop shadows are usually pretty buttery, but these are just another level and they're just really pigmented. And I can't wait to do more looks with this. But so far, I love it. I love how this lasted on me. They really didn't transfer too much at all as far as the shimmers, and that metallic is just beautiful. I just love the look that I did with this. I mean, yes, it's just a basic ass neutral look, but I think it's a really beautiful palette and I can't wait to use it more. So, and I think that people responded to the quality and the packaging and the collection of this Rudolph collection better than like any of the other collab palettes that they've had this year, because almost everything from the Rudolph collection is sold out. But, you know, and they weren't on sale either. Like, they weren't included with the 30% off site-wide, which it actually, like, speaks a lot as far as how people responded to the collection, because this was not on sale. It was not included with the 30% off. So I think that both the lip duos are sold out, and I think the lip masks, I'm not sure about the palette or the highlighter. I mean, they usually make a ton of these now, so people don't miss out on them. But I'm telling you right now, this palette is solid. I think that this is one of their best collab palettes they did this year. It might even be my favorite one. I think I really am super impressed with the quality of this palette. It's beautiful. So obviously you can tell I love that. And then the highlighter, I wore it underneath a mask and everything, and it still looks stunning. I mean, the only thing I hate about these is the actual packaging, but everything else about the formula, and this is so beautiful. It's like so multi-dimensional. It's like a peachy, champagne-y color, and it's just so pretty. There's so many different multi-glitters in it, like gold and green, and it's just so pretty. It's so pretty, and I really, really like this one, and I think the packaging is adorable, so can't go wrong with a Super Shock highlighter. I love the Super Shock highlights, so, and again, the packaging is just so adorable on this collection. I mean, just so cute. And then the lip product I have in my purse, because I did bring it to work with me. So let me just grab those. So obviously you guys know I love the Luxe lipstick formula, but I feel like this one especially, where did I put it? I know I put it back in my bag. Now I just gotta find it. Oh, it's right here. Sometimes I leave my lipsticks at work in the bathroom, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, super cute. Again, the packaging. I love this sparkly red packaging. There's just something about this that I just am obsessed with. And this packaging for the lip liner does not feel cheap whatsoever, and I think that this one is super, super smooth. And then the same thing with the lipstick. I just really think that this one is super pretty. I'll apply a little bit more. I do get a little bit of like that line there, but I don't really mind it because this one is super smooth on the lips, and the color is just perfect for every day, and I already used this like 3 times, and I love it so much. And then as far as the blush and the mascara go, I love it. So overall, and even the tinted skin veil still looks good after wearing a mask for like 4 hours at work, and I still think my skin looks beautiful. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. If I don't like post anything after Christmas, because this will be up next week during Christmas, have a very happy and Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and please just try to be safe and celebrate with your loved ones. But this is probably going to be my outro for every single video that I post next week. So yeah, love you guys so much. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CPW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. Bye!